This is a colt that is from Sire by Chocolate Venture, and his dam is Belladonna. This is the first day that we've really worked with this colt after he has been a yearling. He'll soon be a 2-year-old. Wanted to just kind of get an idea of how he was responding, showing you the breeding of the Rocky Mountain. The Rocky Mountain characteristics really depict the temperament, and this breeding really shows how this breeding of the characteristics of the Rocky Mountain is just impeccable. Larry and Brandon have began to put a bitless bridle on the colt. Larry has done half an hour to 45 minutes groundwork with the colt, working with him, just making sure that he accepts the saddle and accepts just persons around him. You can see how docile he is. He's not been schooled in any way other than just wanting to make sure that he understands the process basically of the equipment. Again, there's been no schooling of scolding or whipping or tying to the post, any of those old antics of putting a horse under saddle. This is all natural horsemanship, being a relationship with one another. The colt has responded tremendously, and we are pushing him a little bit as far as moving him on with Brandon, going to put a leg across him. Now, how you will see is that we may stop whenever the colt gets upset, or if anything happens that we need to back up a little bit. As I say, we're probably pushing the process a little bit, but we're just extremely satisfied with the attitude that this colt has. He has such a good, for about 45 minutes on the groundwork, and we'll just see. Again, we're not trying to force the issue. We're allowing the colt to accept as he is willing to accept. Okay, we're going to work with the saddle, cinching it up to make sure Brandon is safe. And the colt has not had a tight girth on him yet, but we're working toward that, of course, to make sure he's comfortable, and again, if Brandon is safe. Again, this colt won't be 2 until the end of this year, but and we won't ride this colt, but in any length of time, working on only to accept the rider, the equipment, and the rider on his back. Okay, that wasn't so bad. The colt has a kind eye and accepting Brandon, and Larry leading him. He made a relationship with Larry on the ground at first, and so this is always a good technique also, is that he has someone on the ground he had already made a relationship with and accepted. And he'll do the same thing according to what we are seeing with Brandon. Ears are forward and listening to at different times. Still a little bit looking around to see if there's a place for him to get out, but Brandon is clucking to him and using some leg on him, and he's accepting that leg already. Again, this is a bitless bridle. We put our horses under saddle with bitless bridles until they learn the cues that the rider gives them with a nice hand and all the accepting everything about them.
Whenever you want out, you just let me know.
Okay, Brandon has said he'd like to come out of the round pen. We have instructed Brandon to let us know, and I'm on top of the fence here. We'll just see if he comes by me. But Brandon was to give us a cue if he felt comfortable of taking the colt out of the round pen. And as I said, I'm on top of the fence videoing this. He hasn't a problem with someone above his head. You're seeing the first time that this colt has had a saddle, person, or any kind of handling under saddle for sure. And as I said earlier, Larry had about a 45-minute session of groundwork with him, building a relationship with him. I'm gonna go ahead and get down and video from the ground. Okay, we're picking up as this colt has just came out of the round pen, and Brandon is taking him out on just this open paddock area. The colt's responding well. Again, this is where we're producing this video just to show you the breeding that we have at Bert Farms, how the Rocky Mountain is bred for temperament and willingness and gait. We don't breed for color, although this is a signature chocolate white mane and tail. And wow, it's great when we have all of them. But the temperament is really just what Bert Farms strives for, and the characteristics of the Rocky Mountain horse. He's doing just some maneuvers of working the colt left, right, accepting his cues. A little bit of resistance, but Brandon is quiet and works with him until he go ahead and accept his cue to left, right, forward moving. Those are the cues that we ride originally from the very beginning, that we really want our horses to realize that we're in control basically of this ride. But this wouldn't be acceptable to most breeds, but again, the unprecedented, what really sets the Rocky Mountain horse apart from other breeds is basically their temperament and their natural gait. We've not seen the colt gait right now, but he is, we're not really asking him to do that. We're asking him to accept the ride right now. The video might be a little rocky because we're just going to follow Brandon to where he's going to take the colt, just kind of giving him a scenic ride. He's not sure about me coming up with him with the video, but
Okay, did your people take your champagne horse? What's the story on him? You gonna keep him? What's the story on him? Are you gonna keep him?
Brandon has indicated that he'd like to go down to the obstacle course, which again we'll pick up that. We'll work with that. This colt has responded enough for Brandon to feel comfortable and relaxed, that he's not afraid of what the colt's attitude is. So the attitude is, colt is giving him a good attitude, and he's feeling comfortable with him, taking him outside. Again, you're the first. It's kind of like a news reporting here to see this colt placed under saddle. Okay, Brandon's making his way down to the obstacle course. You all have seen this obstacle course in many of our videos. And just kind of giving the idea how willing this colt is. He's not even afraid of the troll on the bridge. Stands quietly.